All right, everybody, we're on day six math, and this is a review of the multiplication unit that we have been doing. We started at the beginning of the school year. The first thing that we're going to talk about is this multiplication table and the patterns that we might see on that table. The first thing that they say here is that they want us to find the product of 3 times 4. They want us to find 3 in the far left column, which is right here, this blue column right here. So they've circled the 3. Then they want us to find 4 in the row along the top, which is this blue row up here, and they circled the 4. And then they want you to follow the numbers across and down until they meet. This is the product. So I'm going to use my highlighter, and I'm going to show you how, just to highlight a little bit. If we trace all the 3's across until the 3's meet the 4's, we get our answer, and the answer is 12. Now, one of the things that I want to remind you about for this video are the vocabulary words, product and factors. So let's start first. Factors. These blue boxes here that I'm now highlighting yellow on top of, these are your factors. These are the numbers you use when you're multiplying, that you multiply together. Again, these are factors, the numbers that you multiply together. The other vocabulary word is the word product. Products are the answers you get when you multiply factors together. So everything on the outside edge that was blue but I highlighted yellow, these are the factors. Everything on the inside that I highlighted purple, these are the products. These are the answers to our questions. Here we go. What they're asking us to do down here is they're saying if you multiply 3 times 4, you get 12. 3 times 4 are the factors, 12 is the product. Now you can use the commutative property, which, remember, tells us that you can switch the order of factors, 3 times 4, 4 times 3, it won't matter, to check your answer. 3 times 4, 4 times 3, no matter how you do it, the answer is 12, and here's why. The first time I did this, I found the 3, and then I found the 4, and they met at the 12, right? This time I'm going to do it the opposite way. I'm going to find the 4 first, then I'm going to find the 3. I'll change my color. Let's go with green. If I find the 4 first and come down to where it meets the 3, then find the 3 and comes over to where it meets the 4, my answer is the same. Doesn't matter which order I do it. 3 times 4, 4 times 3, does not matter the order of your factors. All right, practice. They say to look at the products with a factor of 5. What pattern do you see? The products with a factor of 5 end in blank or blank. All right. Remember the section that I highlighted purple? Those were my products. So everything in here, this white section, these are all of my products. And I want to find the products with a factor of 5, which means I want to find only the products in the 5's row and 5's column. And I'll go ahead and highlight green. So I'm only going to the factor or the products where the factors are 5, right like this. I'm going to look at those numbers and I notice when I look at those numbers, I get 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Hey, these are all the numbers I say when I count by 5s, right? But there's another pattern too. 0, 5, then look at the 10. Hey, it ends with a 0. The 15 ends with a 5. The 20 ends with a 0. 25 ends with a 5. 30 ends with a 0. In fact, every single number in this green section that I've highlighted ends with either a 0 or a 5. There are no other ending numbers. And that's what they want us to write here as the pattern that we've noticed. They want us to write that the products with a factor of 5 end in 0 or 5. They either end in 0 or they end in 5. That's it when you're looking at products with a factor of 5. The next thing they want us to look at are the products with a factor of 0, and then decide what we notice. The products with a factor of 0 end in blank. Okay, so I'm looking at the factors of 0. There's the factor 0. There is the factor 0. And now I'm just going to highlight their products, and I'll choose a different color. Let's go to purple. So these are all products when the factor is 0. And these are all products when the factor is 0. And so what do you notice? Exactly. The products with a factor of 0 end in 0. So we're going to go ahead and write that. And that's what they're asking us to do on this page. Just finish off those sentences with patterns that we've noticed. The next page gives you a multiplication fact table, and this one goes all the way into the 12s. And you're going to be using that, although they give you another one here, to answer the questions on the second page. Find 10 times 5, circle the factors and the product, write the product. So I'm going to go ahead and locate 10, and I'm going to slide over until it meets 5. Find the 5, slide down until it meets the 10, and those two green lines met at the 50. It said it wanted us to circle the factors. So the factors are 10 and 5. And it also said to circle the product, which I will do in a different color. Circle the product. And then it asked us to write the product here. So the product is 50. Like that. Question number 4 says, shade a row of numbers yellow to show the products with a factor of 10. What do you notice about this row? The products with a factor of 10 end in blank. All right, since I'm going to be using yellow this time, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my notes from number 3, excuse me. I'm going to switch to a yellow highlighter. And I need to shade a row. Guys, rows go side to side. So they only want me shading a side to side row of the products with a factor of 10. So I'm going to find the factor that's 10, factor of 10, and I'm only shading the row. I'm not going to do this one. This is a column. They only want me to shade the row. And then they say, look at it. All right, I'm looking at it. The products with a factor of 10 all end in the same number. What number is that? 0. Exactly. They all end in 0. So when you're counting by tens, everything you say ends in 0. That's basically what they're saying. Now let's take a look at the problem solving. Mason has one notebook for science and one notebook for reading. He puts 9 stickers on each notebook. How many stickers did Mason use in all? Write 2 multiplication sentences. So here's what I know. I know that he had one notebook for science, and it said that each notebook had 9 stickers in it. And then he had one notebook for reading, and again, each notebook had 9 stickers in it. So the question is, how many stickers did Mason use in all? Well, one of the things that I can do, since I have a multiplication here and a multiplication sentence here, is I can put them together like this. 1 times 9, 1 times 9, and then to find the answer, I'm going to have to add these two together. 1 times 9 plus 1 times 9. So if I do that, I know that 1 times 9 is 9. I know that 1 times 9 is 9. Put them together. 2 times 9, or 2 9s, or 9 plus 9 is 18. And I've got two multiplication that I combine together into one equation. If you did it another way, that's fine too. I could have left it as 1 times 9 equals 9. And 1 times 9 equals 9. And then I could have added the two 9s together as well. Vocabulary check. Label each with the correct word. So they want to know what these two numbers are, the 4 and the 2. The 4 and the 2, the numbers that we multiply together, are called factors, which means the answer, the 8, is called the product. Test practice, it asks, which property states the order in which two numbers are multiplied does not change the product? What property is that? The property that we're talking about is the one that says numbers like 6 times 5 will be the same thing even if I switch them around to 5 times 6. This is the property that we're discussing right now. The property that states the order in which two numbers are multiplied does not change the product. So this is what we're talking about right here. And the name of that property is the commutative property of multiplication. Again, if you have any questions, make sure that you write them in Google Classroom. Hopefully this answered any questions you may have had, but again, if it didn't, post them. Talk to you later.